Hey, what's happening here? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics. You're gonna have to excuse me if the camera's a little shaky this morning. Just did my arm workout and it was awesome. But I want to talk to you today about how to be a doer and the difference really between the doer and the dreamer, okay? And before I start this, I don't want to downplay dreaming. I think you need to have big goals. I think you need to have big goals that pull you forward, that keep you motivated, that keep you doing all the stuff that really you don't want to do. But there is a distinct difference. You can see it in your life. You've seen it with plenty of people. I see it all the time. There is a group of people that is a dreamer, like they're dreamers, and they might get information and they might study and they might read, but they basically have an emotional high. They get an emotional high, they get excited, they get, pumped up, maybe they get emotional, and then nothing happens. There's no results. And then there's another group that, you don't necessarily see them get emotional, but you see them consistently making progress. Okay, and I can trace this all the way back to probably around the age of 13 years old. I used to go to summer camp, right? We would go to Bible camp in the summers. And, there's a few hundred kids at a Bible camp in 7th grade, and all of them are excited, and all of them are emotional, and all of them are talking about how they're going to change their lives. And then we get back from the camp, and nobody does anything. Everyone goes back to what they were doing before, and nothing actually improves. And I remember, at the age of 13, picking that out and noticing, and man, I was like, why would you go to an entire week of learning and experiences and then not implement it? Okay, so I want to help you isolate the difference today between the doer and the dreamer. Okay, so again, you do need to have dreams, but here's the deal. If your dreams are a stimulus response, meaning you heard something that inspired you, it became attractive, you got excited, and that was why it's your dream, then you're a dreamer. You don't actually have a why, you don't have a goal or a purpose. Now, a doer, on the other hand, they already had their dream. So when they went to the conference, or they read the book, or they did the course, or they heard the speech, they already had a dream. They didn't get distracted or interested in a new thing. They already had, that's the reason why they watched the video. That's the reason why they went to the conference. Okay? So the dreamer typically is distracted or bored or feels like they're missing out, and because of that, they become interested in inspiring events, opportunities, books, courses, whatever that thing may be. The doer, on the other hand, was already inspired, and they were looking for fuel, and that's why they did the thing or went to the event or watched the video. Okay, so that's one of the traits I've identified. Another one of the traits I've identified is when a doer hears something valuable, they don't dwell on how they feel about the information they just heard. They dwell on, how am I going to implement this? Okay, they dwell on, what am I going to do with this info when I get home? How is this workable? How is this practical? The dreamer, on the other hand, when they hear the information, they dwell on the emotional experience. They dwell on how they feel when they hear it. They might get teary-eyed when they hear an inspirational speech. Whereas the doer, they hear the inspirational speech and they're like, man, they almost are frustrated. They're like, how am I going to, how do I get home now and go do this now and make this happen now instead of hanging out the rest of the 3 days? Okay, that's a major difference. Now, the biggest difference that you can identify between a doer and a dreamer is literally in the names. The doer does. The doer does. The dreamer doesn't. The dreamer, they have hopes and wishes and goals, and they have all the same good stuff that a doer has, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, they didn't put in the action. They didn't do what they needed to do. That's why they're not a doer. A doer puts in the action. A doer hears something, and then they're like, all right, I need to do this, and they immediately translate it into action, and then they keep doing it. Okay, a dreamer, they hear it, and then they go right back to what they were doing before. They go right back to what they were doing before, and they justify having dreams as reasons why they're not taking action. Okay, a lot of times the dreamer is going to say, hey, I know I'm not there yet, but I'm trying. Dude, everyone's trying. You're not there yet because you're not there yet. Bottom line. Okay, so the difference between a doer and a dreamer, the doer does. The doer takes action. And the doer is good at saying no. Okay, the dreamer typically isn't good at saying no. That's why everything becomes a dream. They say yes to everything. They go to the conference for one MLM, they're interested in that one. They go to the next one, they're interested in that, and they quit the first one. The one business isn't working, they quit and go do something else. Okay, a doer, they say, no, this is my goal, and I don't need to switch, I don't need to make any changes, I just need to continue pursuing the same thing I've been doing and finish it out. And they will say no to anything that distracts them from that. Whether that be other opportunities, whether that be other thought leaders, whether that be other books, whether that be friends that have different ideas, whether that be family members that need them for such and such, like they're gonna say no, like, hey, this is my goal, and this isn't helping me get to my goal, so no, I can't, no, I won't, I'm not going to. Okay, so if you wanna convert, here's what I'm gonna end with today, guys. If you wanna convert yourself from a doer, or from a dreamer to a doer, you don't need to give up dreaming. You need to put action behind your dreams. And you need to put action in the right way. So this is the other part where people fall short, is they're like, yeah, I'm gonna put in action, but they don't duplicate it the way that they were taught to do it. Okay? Like it's literally like, all right, you need to do this, and they do a version of that, but they don't do it exactly. It's no different than if you get in a car and I say push the gas pedal if you want to go fast. You gotta fully duplicate, I'm going to push the gas pedal. Because it turns out there's a pedal right next to it. So if you just like, oh, I'm gonna do it my way, and as long as I loosely push a pedal, the car will go somewhere, you're gonna hit the brake and you're not gonna go anywhere. So you gotta not only take the action, you gotta take the action the way you need to take the action. You have to be compliant with that. You're not looking for creativity in that moment. You're not looking for dreams. You're looking for execution. How do I do this the exact way the successful do it? And continue to take the action and continue to say no to distraction and all of these other things that you've got to implement in order to make that happen for yourself. So if you want to go from dreamer to doer, because here's the deal, guys, between a dreamer and a doer, the doer has the results, man. I've done the dreamer thing, didn't work. I started the doer thing and immediately it worked. Like if you don't have something, you're not taking the action required to get it. You might be taking a action, but again, it's the difference between the gas and the brake. A action doesn't help, the right action helps. So if you would like help identifying that for yourself in your life, with your finances and with your business, I want you to reach out to me. Okay, my team is very successful at taking clients and putting them in a position to succeed. But you got to be able to do it right and do it consistently right in order to make it happen for yourself. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm going to go and wrap up. Have a fantastic day. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to y'all soon.